Hello there. Thank you for taking a moment to watch this video. And on this specific training video, we're going to continue talking about our Zapier phone burner integration. And more specifically, we're going to continue talking about separating data from an array into its own object so that we can deal with it when we push it to another system a little bit easier, right? If you've been watching my other videos in this series, then you may remember that when we were going through our last Zap, we talked about how some of the contacts have phone numbers with some labels and some with other labels. And that's common, right? You might have some contacts that have data in all of the different data points. Of course, we're talking about phone numbers in this particular example, but it could be any type of data that you're pulling from phone burner that's in an array. You could have different names or labels for that data. And not all of your contacts are going to have something in or with that name or label. And in this particular case, we had our first test had a phone number with IVR and another one with company. And now here's another contact, White Queen, that has IVR as a label and direct as a label. But how do we deal with this, right? So when we mapped everything, we said, oh, we want all of the IVRs to go here and our company phones to go here. This one has no company phone. So of course that's not going to be mapped. They have an IVR, so that should map over fine, but the direct is not going to work. So let's just kind of go through an example of that. Let's make sure that that specific contact, I think that contact is going to be one of our tests here. So here, there it is. So here is that specific record. If we go look at the phone numbers array, you'll see that there are two phone numbers. And let's go ahead and continue with this selected record. And we're going to continue through all of these steps just so that we have these, the data from this record as our sample data. There we go. Hit continue. Hit continue. Continue. And retest. There we go. You can see it's broken out. Hit continue. And then first thing we're going to do is we're going to point out that this one doesn't have a company phone, right? So that's empty. IVR is there, and then direct is not here. So let's see what happens when we test this. We should see that contact pop in here, and there you go. So you see IVR posted. No company phone because they don't have a company phone. And of course, this is the primary phone. But we want to make sure that we're not missing this. So let's go ahead and add direct. And now let's update our Zap. Very simple. Let's go back to our action step. Refresh fields. Direct phone. JavaScript. Direct. So now our Zap is updated. So if a contact has a phone number that is labeled direct, it will get mapped over to our, in this case, Google spreadsheet. If they have a phone number that's labeled IVR, it will get mapped over to our Google spreadsheet. If they have a phone number that's labeled company phone, it will also get mapped over to our Google spreadsheet. And of course, the primary phone number will always get placed into the primary phone field. So if our contacts have no phone numbers that are labeled exactly this way, we'll still at least get the primary phone number. So let's go ahead and hit continue. And let's retest the step. And there we go. And that is how easy it can be for you to work with data that you're receiving from phone burner that's packed into an array. Not everything is flattened out in phone burner when we send it through the API because it needs to be in that array so that it can be dealt with. So anyway, that's how easy it can be for you to deal with data that's in an array, whether it's coming out of phone burner Or you're trying to push it into FoamBurner, right? When you're working with external systems, you may run into arrays there as well, and you may need to take advantage of this to separate that data out of the array and get it into its own little object so that you can deal with it a little bit better when you're pushing that data into FoamBurner. So anyway, thanks again for taking the time to watch this video. I hope this helps you and your team get more done using the power of FoamBurner. Thanks again, and happy dialing.